Right now, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz visiting Milwaukee for a campaign stop today. His message to voters. Also, a man is in custody after a domestic incident in Beloit. What police are saying about the arrest. And later, the UW-Whitewater community is grieving after the sudden deaths of a current and former athlete. Welcome to News 3 Now. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jalen Banks. Here on News 3 Now, we're continuing to follow the presidential campaign trails as they trek straight through Wisconsin. Minnesota Governor and Democratic Vice Presidential pick Tim Walz spoke in Milwaukee today at Labor Fest. Our Maddie Heimsch is on the Summerfest grounds with more. Maddie.
Yeah, Jalen, like you said, Walz took the stage here at Labor Fest around 3 today. He took the opportunity to speak to the crowd about he and Vice President Kamala Harris's dedication to protecting and strengthening worker rights. He touted his accomplishments, his personal accomplishments, passing pro-worker legislation at the state level, touching on family leave, teachers' unions, and barring anti-union meetings. Walz separated his own legislation from the other side of the ticket, saying this about, quote, right-to-work laws.
Everybody here today knows what right to work really means. It means the right to work for less money. It means the right to work in dangerous situations. It means the right to work with no pensions. That's what right to work means. It doesn't help with our ability to collectively bargain and to fight with the dignity of work that we know every single person in America deserves.
Walz followed some notable speakers like Representative Gwen Moore, Governor Tony Evers, and Senator Tammy Baldwin, each one of them echoing that same message we've heard many times from the Harris campaign, saying the unions build the middle class and the middle class builds America. Now, we spoke with several members of the crowd before and after Walz's speech about their affiliation with unions and their thoughts on the Harris-Walz campaign. Our Armand Rahman will join us in just moments with what they had to say. But for now, reporting live in Milwaukee, Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. As you just mentioned, we'll be right back out there with Armand shortly. Meanwhile, the motorcade escorting Governor Walz was involved in a car accident today. Walz's vehicle, however, was not involved. Several press vans got into an accident on Interstate 794 on their way to Walz's appearance at a Milwaukee Labor Group event. A pool report detailed staff in the vans were violently thrown forward as one van slammed into another and was then hit from behind. Some staffers were treated by medical personnel. One staffer appeared to have sustained an injury to their arm. Meanwhile, President Biden is traveling to Southwest Wisconsin this Thursday. It'll be his first visit to the state since dropping out of the presidential race. The visit will focus on small towns and rural areas, highlighting the president's policies to lower costs and encourage renewable energy and advanced manufacturing. The White House has not said where in Southwest Wisconsin the president plans to be. Also returning to the Badger State this week is former President Donald Trump. He's set to attend a rally in Mosinee on Saturday. This after he held a town hall in La Crosse last week. Meanwhile, a number of top Republican surrogates will visit Milwaukee on Thursday. They'll attend a town hall organized by the Trump Vance campaign. The list includes former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson, U.S. Representative Brian Stile, and Monica Crowley. Returning to our coverage of Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz's visit to Milwaukee in his race to the White House as Kamala Harris's running mate. The Minnesota governor spoke to a crowd of hundreds of laborers from different unions across Milwaukee's area. Armand Rahman caught up with some of them. Armand, after the speech, did you get a feel that he was able to reach them?
Yeah, Jalen, it really seems so, as much of Walz's speech was met with applause here from the crowd of hundreds of laborers. One plumber I spoke to says it hit all the right chords for him as a union member. Now, the crowd here, as I said, was filled with hundreds of union members representing steel workers, machinists, teachers, plumbers, and a whole lot more. Wade Smith is a member with the Plumbers Local 75, and Walz's speech, he said, and President Biden's record in office seemed to sway his vote. He says as long as the next presidential administration gets workers a fair wage, much more is possible.
I think Democrats have always been more for unions. I lean more towards Republicans myself, but you know, this cycle, it's the Democrats to me is really the only option really after the last administration when Trump was president. So that's just the way I look at it.
Every time we come here, there's a big
Now, there was a slight hiccup in the crowd. As soon as Walz took the stage and began his speech, a group of pro-Palestine protesters calling for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war stood up and unfurled banners and flags and signs and started chanting. They were quickly escorted out by police. Now, it wasn't just Milwaukee laborers in the crowd tonight. I actually, believe it or not, ran into a few people from Madison. Hear from two women who came up here just to hear Walz speak later on tonight at 10. For now, live in Milwaukee, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand and Maddie, thank you. Pleasant conditions continue through Labor Day. Let's check in with your first one forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington, who's out on the weather patio. Alex.
Jalen, all smiles out here on the patio. It's nights like this that you really just want to be out on the patio and stay out here indefinitely. It's going to be tough to come in back into the studio to do weather in front of that big wall. But we'll do that, though. Bottom line in our forecast, we're going to continue to warm up through Thursday. Then storms Thursday night are going to transition us to a period where you probably are not going to want to be out on the patio. We got a really chilly weekend in the forecast that we'll talk more about coming up in Maine weather. Beautiful temperatures, 73 in Madison, 75 in Janesville. Still hanging on to a warm 76 in Boscobel and 74 tied as you go down I-90 from Camp Douglas over towards the Dells. Here in Dane County, it's the battle of the 73s and the 74s. Beautiful evening, light winds, low humidity. Beautiful evening across southern Wisconsin. I think I've repeated that word at least 3 times now, but it's a good fitting word as we carry through the rest and plan through the rest of our evening. Temperatures getting down to around 60 as we approach the midnight hour. Overnight low temperatures tonight, upper 40s to the lower 50s. You might want to actually shut the window, pull an extra blanket up. Could have a little bit of patchy fog to start off Tuesday morning across southern Wisconsin. But the other part of our weather story here is well told by looking at our temperature trend. Look at the crash in temperatures Friday going on into the weekend. We got a transition from the warm stuff to the cool stuff. I'm going to give you a glimpse of that cold front coming through Thursday night in Maine weather.
All right, Alex, we'll see you shortly. In Whitewater, a man is in police custody in connection with the deadly shooting of a UW-Whitewater gymnast. On Friday, shortly before midnight, officers responded to an apartment off of Main Street in Whitewater after receiving a report of a person who had been shot. There, they found Kara Welsh with multiple gunshot wounds. Police also say a 23-year-old man who was, quote, known to Welsh was also in the apartment. They have not released the relationship between the man and Welsh. News 3 Now spoke with Whitewater Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Ryan Callahan, on his time with Welsh.
Just a beautiful person, you know, and obviously those that know her were around her more, but, you know, from my time being around her, it's just always positive, hardworking, extremely energetic. You know, everything you want in a student athlete is Kara.
Welsh is a native of Plainfield, Illinois. The rising senior won the national title on the vault last year at the National Collegiate Gymnastics Association Championship and was majoring in business management. The local community is mourning the loss of Chris Davis Sr. The father and mentor died in his sleep Saturday. Tanisha Shaw spoke with loved ones about the legacy he leaves behind.
Chris Davis helped UW-Whitewater win 2 national championships. I got the opportunity to talk to loved ones who tell me his impact will go well beyond the court and field.
I knew that there was something always there with him that people were drawn to see it, you know, at this time is, you know, also is amazing, but also extremely sad because like they said, you never really get your flowers until you're gone.
Madison, Whitewater, and cities in between are mourning Chris Davis Sr. His family tells me he died in his sleep early Saturday morning. Now, people throughout the state are remembering him.
Seeing him as a father and seeing the impact that he made in the greater Madison community, that's going to be Chris's legacy that's going to live on forever.
Davis coached basketball for Sun Prairie High School. Before that, he led Whitewater's football and basketball team to national championships. He also became the first and only player to receive National Player of the Year for Whitewater's basketball program.
And anytime I had a conversation with Coach Miller or anybody who had played with Chris on some of those Whitewater teams, those are the 2 words that constantly came up, was how dominant he was and what a winner he was. It was about him. It wasn't about him getting his. It was about the team and the team's success, and that's what made him such a winner.
Davis is leaving behind a son, who many call Little Chris. They are described as inseparable.
He said it just comes from an experience of not having his father around, that he was going to make sure that he did whatever he could for his son. And it's special because, like I said, you just don't see that as much anymore.
Davis is also known as a father figure to the younger generation. Outside of sports, he mentors students, introducing them to college and preparing them for the real world, being that father figure that some may not have.
The only instances where little Chris wasn't with him was when Chris Sr. was bringing other students from surrounding high schools to Whitewater to try and help them figure out where to go to college, what college was like.
And he was able to do that for an entire generation. And there's so many kids that, are now young adults that are so thankful for what my brother did for them.
Reporting in Madison, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanasia, thank you. Our hearts are certainly with the Whitewater community and the families of Davis and Welsh. Now, there are GoFundMe set up for both of those families. You can find those on our website at channel3000.com. And coming up on News 3 Now, the American Red Cross needs your help restocking the nation's blood supply, how you can donate. Plus, from choking hazards to protecting against respiratory illnesses, there's a lot that goes on into keeping your children safe.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture
at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with an 11% rebate on everything. Protect your cars, trucks, and toys with Shelter Logic. We carry a great selection of easy-to-assemble canopies, shelters, and garages that hold up against the elements. This 10 by 20 auto shelter is rip-resistant and has a heavy-duty steel frame. Get yours today for $249.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
The burn pit at our base in Iraq had just shut down, but the poisons were around us everywhere. Back home, I got diagnosed with cancer, but the VA denied coverage to a lot of us who got sick. Tammy Baldwin knew that was wrong, and she wasn't going to let that stand. She worked with both parties to pass a law. So now, thousands of us exposed to toxic chemicals are getting the care that we deserve. It took a fight, but Tammy Baldwin, she's a hell of a fighter.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture
at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
3 for the people. We should all be able to control our own reproductive lives.
I'm tackling the topic of women's reproductive rights and letting you know exactly where the candidates stand on this pivotal issue to help you cast an informed vote on Election Day, Tuesday at 6.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
The American Red Cross and several UW groups are looking to address an ongoing blood shortage with the UW-Madison Kickoff Blood Drive. Blood donors of all types, especially those with type O blood, are urged to give as soon as possible. Donors are urged to make an appointment, but walk-ins are, of course, welcome. The drive will be held at the Nicholas Recreation Center on the UW-Madison campus from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. September 3rd through the 5th. A blood donor card or driver's license or 2 other items of identification are required at check-in. It's the 9th month of 2024, so September is the perfect time for awareness when it comes to the safety of babies. Dr. Keisha Davis with the American Academy of Family Physicians says lessen exposure to germs with 3 cleaning methods at home. Cleaning frequently used surfaces with soap and water, sanitizing regularly. Davis says using a cleaning solution or spray can kill most bacteria and viruses, and disinfecting around once or twice every couple of weeks with bleach or alcohol.
You want to make sure that you go back over it and wipe it down with some soap and water so that they're not accidentally ingesting bleach or one of those other chemicals that you might have used to clean.
Davis says to rid homes of visible hazards that may tempt a toddler or crawling infant. That can be things like electrical outlets, vents, where fingers can get stuck, or small items on the floor that can end up in a mouth. She also says to lock up cleaning supplies in cabinets and to store potentially dangerous things like laundry pods in a place little hands can't get into. There's still more ahead at 6. The FBI says the sophisticated scam is taking billions from victims. When we come back, what you need to know about the con called pig butchering and what you can expect from the weather this week. Alex has a look at your first one forecast after the break.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic. Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else. Ironic. Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less. That's ironic. Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
Steinhaffel's biggest Labor Day sale has been extended. There's still time to get amazing deals on closeouts and bonus buys, like this sofa now $2.99, a Beauty Rest Queen mattress $3.99, this dining table just $4.99, or a queen bed for $10.49. Plus, make your new room even more affordable with Steinhaffel's 36-month financing. This is your last chance for Labor Day deals at Steinhaffel's. Shop in store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Tens of millions of roofs across America are failing, wearing out decades early, and leaking, oftentimes without you knowing about it, causing tremendous damage. Here's how you know you have a problem with your roof. Black streaking, your roof looks rough, or granules shedding off into your gutters or showing up in your driveway. Your roof is wearing out too fast, and it's going to cost you a bundle. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. So give us a call, and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
We're cranking up the voltage, Wisconsin. Lottery retailers all around the state are lighting up with the latest limited time offer. It's Badger 5, 5 will get you 6. During the month of September, players who buy a $5 or greater Badger 5 ticket will receive a bonus ticket for the next drawing of Badger 5. This electric offer is only available for a limited time and only at Wisconsin lottery retailers.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll do it with new ideas to make middle-class life more affordable. New caps on the price of medicine, new investments in clean energy to bring down costs for families. And while Trump will cut taxes for the super rich, she'll cut taxes for the rest of us. A stronger middle class, a future we can afford. Climate Power Action and FFPAC are responsible for the content of this app.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Thank you for staying with us. The Federal Trade Commission says Americans lost $10 billion in scams and fraud last year. Those scams are becoming more personal and sophisticated. Christine Lazar spoke to one man who thought he was making money, but instead lost tens of thousands of dollars.
At that point, all I'm seeing is all this money.
Robert Totten thought he had found a pathway to retirement through trading cryptocurrency. A woman texted his cell phone out of the blue last spring and convinced him to give it a shot. He downloaded what he thought was a legitimate trading app.
I just kept listening and watching, and I was doing everything she told me, and the next thing I know, we've turned $9,000 into $102,000.
At this point, you're probably thinking, we know where this is going. And you're right. Totten was scammed out of $85,000.
It's sickening. It's like it's destroyed my life as far as finances and my retirement.
The scam is called pig butchering, where criminals fatten up a victim by making them think they're richer and richer so they can extract as much money as possible.
It's a very sophisticated process.
Kevin Goschalk is the CEO of Arcos Labs and a cybersecurity expert. He says scam groups create sophisticated manuals to trick people.
They have these books and guides that are really designed by different victim types. You know, if you're single, if you're a mother, if you're black, if you're white, where you live.
She consistently tried to get me to invest more.
Totten received a lot of photos from his scammer. She even sent a driver's license when he grew skeptical. The address said she was in San Marino, California. But when we went to the door, the homeowner told us, "You don't know who this woman is."
No.
He had no idea who was in the photo. And the DMV confirmed the license is a fake. And that crypto app Totten downloaded, it also turned out to be a fake and was gone from the App Store as soon as he realized he had been scammed.
You know, a lot of people say it won't happen to me.
That's what I said.
Totten has filed a police report and contacted the FBI, but he doubts he will ever get his money back. Christine Lazar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The comfortable conditions continue for the next few days. Let's check back in with Alex with a complete look at your first one forecast. Alex.
They sure do, Jalen. If not, a touch on the warm side as we have sunny conditions lasting through at least Wednesday. Then Thursday. It will be a warm day, but we have a rain chance coming in Thursday night. That's with the cold front. I'm going to give you a glimpse of what that will look like. And could there be some storms at that front? The answer in a moment. That's going to lead us into a chilly weekend ahead when the temperatures are not going to be very comfortable out there, almost on the chilly side. Nothing chilly about our forecast right now, at least through the evening. 73, 68 by 8 o'clock when you join us for the 10 o'clock newscast. Still comfortable with temperatures right around 62 degrees. Overnight lows, though, they will get a bit on the chilly side. We've got upper 40s to the lower 50s. Could be looking at some fog in some of our low-lying locations like Lone Rock and Baraboo in the Wisconsin River Valley, where you have the tendency to have that morning fog. So somewhat of a chilly start. But let's look at our temperature history and where we're going to be going. We just had that big warm spell on Monday the 26th, so just a week ago. And then the temperatures have been cooling down. Now watch what happens. Temperatures are going to be warming on up as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday. And then a crash Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's going to be a weather system here. You've got to go from 80 to 70. Something has to give there, and that's going to be that front. This is what the front's going to look like by around Thursday, 10, 11 o'clock when you join us for our 10 o'clock newscast. Could be tracking a line of thunderstorms stretching from Platteville to Madison to Watertown up towards Juneau. Not expecting severe weather at this point in time with this line of thunderstorms, at least not widespread severe weather, but wouldn't be shocked to see some gusty winds with that line of storms as it moves through, and probably some frequent lightning too. That's the only big rain chance that we have, if you want to call that a big rain chance. Thursday night going on into the wee hours of Friday. I got a 20% coverage here. Friday going on into Saturday. Behind that weather system, we could be looking at a couple of pop-up showers in the afternoon. But look at how cold Saturday is going to be, or chilly, I should say. Not quite cold, but chilly. Only 63 degrees, and the low temperature Saturday night could get into the lower 40s in Madison and across much of southern Wisconsin. We'll be keeping a close eye on that to see if we get any upper 30s in the area. That'll be something we'll keep a tab on throughout this week. 68 on Sunday, and then slowly warming up as we go out into next week. So just a brief period of chilly weather on the way.
All right, sounds good, Alex. Coming up, can the Brewers take Game 1 in their series against the Cardinals? We have the highlights next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Keeping tabs on our kids' screen time can be tough. So SSM Health and News 3 Now created the Time for Kids digital playbook. Join us for tips to help your family set rules and stay safe in the digital world by taking Time for Kids.
I'm a two-time Trump voter.
In 2024, I cannot support Donald Trump.
Trump is 100%
responsible for January 6th.
His treatment of women is just disgusting.
Trump called servicemen suckers and losers.
If Trump has a second term,
it will be much worse than the first.
Kamala Harris is a prosecutor.
He's a convicted felon. In 2024,
I will be
proudly voting for Kamala Harris.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Mark, a little help here?
Keep it down. The noise is making them angry.
Whoa. Hey, I'm not a beekeeper, but I can replace these windows fast.
Let Feldco be the experts in your home renewal. Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free. Plus, no interest until 2026. And we'll get it done Feldco fast.
Buy one, get one free ends Labor Day. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
I thought I was sleeping okay, but I was waking up so tired. Then I tried new ZzzQuil Sleep Nasal Strips. Their 4-point lift design opens my nose for maximum airflow, so I breathe better.
And we both sleep better and stay married.
Better days start with ZzzQuil Nights.
For fast sore throat relief, try Vicks VapoCool Drops with 2 times more menthol per drop and powerful Vicks vapors to vaporize sore throat pain. Vicks VapoCool Drops, vaporize sore throat pain.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Keeping tabs on our kids' screen time can be tough. So SSM Health and News 3 Now created the Time for Kids digital playbook. Join us for tips to help your family set rules and stay safe in the digital world by taking Time for Kids. Wisconsin volleyball in Milwaukee this Labor Day battling some of the top-ranked teams in the nation. Sunday, the Badgers took on top-ranked Texas in a rematch from last year's semifinal game from the NCAA National Tournament. Badgers battled early, taking the second set, but Texas showed their horns, taking the match in 4. The Badgers are back in action today, taking on 5th-ranked Stanford. Tonight at 10, our Andrew Banster will have a full breakdown and highlights from the game. And just a reminder to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle. Bryson Green stops by to talk all things Badger football with sports director Zach Hanley. Show airs at 6:30 on Friday right here on News 3 Now. Willie Adames and the Brewers hosting the Cardinals earlier today. It was also Adames' 29th birthday. And what a better way to celebrate than to hit your 29th home run of the season. He puts the Crew up 3-0. Then in the bottom of the 6th, with bases loaded, Jackson Churio wanted to get in on this birthday party, blasting a homer of his own, which would be a grand slam. That puts the Crew up 9-3, which would end up being the final score. They're back in action tomorrow night at 6:40. Man, beautiful day to be outside, grilling, baseball, if you're out on the lake or some of the rivers. Awesome day overall.
All of the above. And we got more beautiful weather in the forecast for the next couple of days. All you need to do is just look at our 10-day forecast. Let's take a look at that there. That's all you need to see. Up to 80 by the time we get to Thursday. And then, oh my gosh, we go down to 70 by Friday. Lower 60s by Saturday. A cold front's going to come through Thursday night, bringing that chilly weather. But it's a brief chilly period for us.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Alex. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here at 10.